Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the...
Coach, thank you. Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
The outlaw.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the counter now, it's Sanders.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Sanders. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On 3rd down, Fields. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First down, Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 11. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Shoot. Watch the shot. Shoot. Kill.
Off the play fake. Fields. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run. It's Sanders. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders, able to push his way through. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll set him back 5.
Still 1st down.
Ready? 53, check, 53, bring it. Ready?
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Let's go. 18 Gator. I'm coming.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
A good game there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Hines on a toss play. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 33 yards that time. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Colts have taken the lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
Under 10.
Here's Sanders. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down now, it's Edwards. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines, and he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Bandit.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
To throw on third down, Fields. And it's complete. Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. Let's go, D.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. That escapes the sack. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. I'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fields. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. From the gun on 3rd down. Lawrence nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They go play action here on 1st down. And caught by Henry. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Sean Bunting on the tackle. No gain on the play. Makes it 3rd and 2.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. He can run for it, and the ball is knocked out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a 1st down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. Now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there.
And they get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills' offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back to throw. Lawrence. He's got it to Williams. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. He's going to loft one. It got his man. Complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play here for the Bills. And even 50 yards. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. Another run with Sanders. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Lawrence.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this one is right down Broadway. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They run with Hines. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check, and they're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Check, 43. Focus, defense, focus. Chance, one chance. 43.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now it's Hines, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Naeem Hines with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was Quincy Wilson that time, was able to make the play defensively. Well, let's see, he was 8 of 13 prior to that pass, now 8 of 14, Charles.
Yeah, that's not horrible, but he's been under a ton of pressure throughout this game, not able to stay on his spot. You know, quarterbacks talk about that all the time, being able to get to one place, set up and throw. When they make you move a little bit, oftentimes your accuracy suffers.
They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarter. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Check, check, 43. I got you. 45. Here we go. 43 is the mic.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Fighting to stop, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he rifles one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. His throw caught at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. They'll come out in the pistol. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Check 50, check 50.
From the gun, Fields. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Completes it to Benjamin. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun, Fields. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ron Thornhill. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
He's got Hooper on the short connection. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 2nd and 6. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. With the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. With the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I step like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian, blame it on Gino. Smells like the medallion, the skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell, keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills, they can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat my friend good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
with this round here, I make a joke. Everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy. And tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy. And tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some. But you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. Yeah, they can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a